Well, this morning I woke up to not the greatest news. My laptop starts, but the screen won't turn on. External monitor doesn't turn on either. So, let's go get it fixed. I find a repair shop on Google, put it into Grab, and off I go. This guy leads me down the narrowest streets, and somehow there's two-way traffic here. He drops me off in this place. This doesn't really look like somewhere where they can fix my laptop. Nothing to do but to ask people. So I ask about 100 people. Finally, someone tells me to go across the street to the mall attached to the metro line. Turns out, once I finally get there, there's about 100 repair shops in there. However, all of them say that they're for cell phones. I ask every single one, and finally, someone tells me the person I'm looking for is on the top floor. Heading there, almost giving up, I find Brick's laptop repair shop. The guy's able to find the problem within 10-15 minutes. It takes him about another hour and a half to fix it. But we're up and running again. Let's go play some cash. Alright, after getting that laptop debacle sorted, we are now heading out into the city of Manila. We're going to explore every single card room that offers poker this week. To start off, we're starting off with the Red Dragon Poker Room. Let's go there now. After taking a Grab to the address I found online for the poker room, I arrive at the La Vie Resort and Casino. After asking the reception where to go, they tell me to take the lift to the 5th floor and walk across to the casino. I was ready and excited to play some cards. However, when I got there and asked where the poker room was, everyone was very confused, as they told me there was no poker room there. They told me the poker room had been moved about a month ago, but no one was able to tell me where the poker room moved to. So, knowing it was closed, I went outside and looked around for a while. Without anyone being able to help me, I looked at the Google reviews, and luckily one of the reviews said that the poker room there had been closed and moved to a new location. Big shout out to that guy. The area I had to walk through to get to the new poker room, maybe not the safest area. However, once I got to the poker room, there was security and it felt very safe. Okay, let's talk about yesterday's hands and venue. What I'll do is I'll cover the 3 most important hands at every location I play. Also, my Airbnb has this golf room. It's extremely hot, but it's nice that we can use it and just practice a little. Now the poker room itself. Once inside there's about 6 to 8 tables I think, but there's only one game running. For the material, the chips are really nice to use. They're like clay chips, so they feel very nice to riffle with. The dealers seemed very well trained and professional. As for the rake, it was 10% capped at 400. The game quality, you couldn't game select a lot because there was only one table and later on the 1-2 table. So the games were relatively good, but I have to get out of here because it's extremely hot without AC, and even hitting a couple balls, I'm already sweating like crazy. Okay, much better. So the first hand we'll go over is, we've been playing for about 15-20 minutes. I look down at pocket jacks. There's an undergun limp, which I didn't see, so I thought I raised initially, but I raised it to 350. The button calls, the blinds fold, and then the undergun limper calls as well. The flop is ace-10-4 with 2 hearts. Undergun checks, recheck, and button checks. I wouldn't have minded a bet, but I also don't mind a check from time to time, especially multi-way. The turn is a magical jack. Undergun now leads for 600 into a pot of 1200. Now, Undergun has been playing relatively tight, and I thought he would never be leading with anything worse than an ace. There's so many draws as the jack brought a second flush draw. So we raised to 2100. The button gets out of the way. The Undergun limper thinks about it for a long while, like 2-3 minutes, and then ends up folding. But I definitely think the right play was to raise there. Unfortunately, we just didn't get the result we wanted. Okay, second hand is quite interesting one. We look down at pocket 4s. Undergun 1 limps, he's been limping every hand, and we've been ISOing pretty much every other hand. So we make it 350 because this exercise has been working just to get heads up. However, when it gets over to small blind calls, big blind calls, and now the undergun limper limp 3 bets. You limp 3 bets to 1850. I think this is a great opportunity to hit set and stack this guy. High call, small blind 9 calls, and big blind calls as well. So we have 4 ways to a flop of king, jack, deuce, rainbow. Absolutely nothing for us. However, small blind checks, big blind checks. The limper thinks it over for a while and checks. I don't think it's the greatest spot to start bluffing in. We have position and we'll just take a 3 card. The turn now brings a magical 4. That's the second set we turned. The 4 also brings the flush draw. Now, small blind leads for 5.5k. We're about 8.5k to 9k behind into a pot of 9k. So he has less than 50% pot behind. Big blind ends up folding. Undergun folds. Here, I think I probably made a mistake, but I thought he wouldn't fold any king X, or combo draws, and I don't think he would have that many random airball bluffs. So I go in for the rest of his 8k, making sure I get it all against combo draws and king x in case there's a bad river. After about 2 minutes, he ends up tank folding, and as he mucks, I see queen jack off. Meaning it was definitely the wrong play to shove, because he was definitely betting way too wide on the turn, and I should have just let him stick it in for us on the river. Even on hard completing rivers, we still could have gone all in for value, as I don't think he leads that many flushes. So that was definitely a mistake, but we won quite a nice spot. As for the last hand, we look down at pocket aces. Undergun limps again, and we make it 600 this time. He wasn't folding to anything, as will be showcased by this hand. So we raise up to 600, everyone else folds, he calls. The flop comes Jack 8-8 rainbow. He now leads for 1300, and I don't think he's ever leading an 8, but we can also let him blast off with all his draws, random bad Jack X. So we just call. The turn, 10 of spades, bringing a flush draw. He now leads for 1800, and in the moment, I didn't think about it enough, but this size is extremely face up. It's obviously weak Jack X, or Jack X with a gut shot, and I don't think he's ever folding that to a raise to like 4.5k. But in the moment, we just call. The river is an offsuit 9, so now any queen X and any 7x makes it straight, but he only leads for 1500. I think we lose most of the time, but because of the pot odds, still beating some value, I think we have to call. We call and get shown Jack 7 off, showcasing how wide he really is. I've just gotten done doing some editing and playing online. I played a very small session online. I played 27 tournaments. I was in for 488 bucks and I lost $182. But I'm done editing, so I'm gonna head out and explore today's new card room, the Newport Resort World. I think it's a lot like the one in Vegas, so let's head there and see what it's like. Today is the last day before the Okada Poker Stars Tournament Series start, so we have 1 day left to cash. That means 1 more new room. But let's first discuss yesterday's 3 most interesting hands, give an overview of the casino, and whether I think you should play there. Buying into the 100-200 table with 30k. My first table isn't great. There's 6 people with headphones on, 1 player kind of splashing around, but not to worry, I quickly got a table change as there was 3 different 100-200 games running. The only interesting hand of the 100-200 session was there's an undergun limp. I isolate the button to 1,000 pesos, and the big blind 3 bets to 2,500. Under the gun folds, I defend my button with ace 4 of diamonds. The flop comes 6-4-3 rainbow. The big blind now checks, and I think his range is going to be very Broadway dense, and I think most strong overpairs would see bet these type of boards, especially in live poker. So he checks it over to me. We bet very small. We bet 2,000, and he pretty much instantly folds. That kind of gives you a gist of the 100-200 game was playing. So I jumped to the 50-100. Our second hand, we look down at ace king. There's 1 limp. We raise it to 500 in middle position. The hijack calls, the cutoff calls, the button calls, the small blind calls, and now the big blind squeezes to 2,800. The undergun limper folds, and since we sat down with 20k in this game, which was the table max, we decided we're ready to 4-bet call off with the amount of dead money in the pot. So we don't want to go too big since we're in position, so we make it 6,000. And the big blind ends up calling after what could be the longest stank I've ever seen pre-flop. This was a solid 5 minutes. I've obviously taken it out because no one wants to sit and wait for 5 minutes to see a guy make a call. Flop comes king, queen, 2 with 2 spades. This is quite a good board for our range. We're going to be very big pair heavy, ace king heavy, and we're going to have some bluffs that still have spade draws. So I think on this board and in 4-bet pots, we don't want to size up, so we bet 25%. We bet 3,000 into a pot of 12,000, sizing up a turn jam. After another minute of tanking or so, the big blind decides to call. The turn is a 9 of diamonds, bringing the second flush draw. The big blind once more checks it over to us, and we stick with the plan and we go all in. After a little bit of table talk, the big blind ends up saying, I think you're very strong, I think you have ace king, which he read me completely correctly, but still ends up calling ace queen of spades. He asked to run out twice, so off we go to 2 runouts. The first run out, clean. The second run out, unfortunately, spade. So we chop the pot, no harm done. We win about 1,500 pesos in that pot. But that would have been nice to hold for a 45,000 pesos pot. For the last interesting hand, I unfortunately don't have any footage as I was busy note-taking on the previous hand. However, I'll quickly walk you through it. It's still the 5100 game. Under the gun raises to 400. He'd been playing every single hand. MP calls to 400, small blind calls to 400, and we come along in the big blind with 7-5 of diamonds. The flop comes 9-7-5. The small blind checks it over. I don't think we want to be leading this board. Lower boards we might want to lead from the big blind, but not this board. So we check it over. Under the gun, now it's 1600. MP folds. Small blind now makes it 3200 of a 7500 pesos stack. Thinking it over, I'd seen this lady several times stack up for about 10,000 pesos with just top pair in spots where she was most likely behind. So I thought our hand was good enough to run it. So I isolate this 7.5k. Under the gun gets out of the way, and small blind decides to run it for a 7,500 pesos stack. She turns over king 9, we turn over our 7-5. The run out, 3 of clubs, we're safe. The river, a deadly king. We lose this pot as well. We ran pretty bad, but I think we played well, so that's all we can do. Focus on the decisions rather than the outcome. Oh, my grab's downstairs, so I'm off to the Metro Manila Card Club. The last cash game casino we're gonna do in Manila. Let's go have a look what it's like. Okay, quick change of plans. The grab to the Metro Manila Club was 93 minutes, so I don't think that's worth it, especially when I want to get an early night in for tomorrow's tournament. So we are at the Okada. We've played here before, but let's see if there's some interesting hands. Without having any time to settle in, we buy in for 20,000 pesos and get dealt in instantly. We look down at ace jack. Under gun limps, under gun +1, over limps, we make it 500 in the cutoff. And the under gun limper is the only caller, so we go heads up to a flop of queen 8-6 with 2 hearts. We have the ace of hearts, so when he checks it over to us, we bet 500. He ends up calling, and we go to a turn of the 10 of hearts. Now, I think this is a great bluffing hand. We have a double gutter, not flush draw, so we make sure we size up so we can go all in by the river. We bet 2.5k, sizing up a perfect river jam of an SPR of 1-1. The river is an offsuit jack. Now, I don't think we're ever good with a jack, so when he checks it over to us on the river, I don't think we're ever good, and I think we have a very good combo to bluff with, getting him to fold out all 2 pairs, all sets. And I don't think he has that much 9x, so we go all in for his remaining 5,200 pesos. After deliberating it, he ends up calling with 10-9, so he rivered the straight. For the second hand, we only have a stack of 12,200 pesos. I tried adding money onto the table with cash, but it wasn't in play, as apparently you have to go up to the desk yourself to exchange it for chips. We deal with what we got. We look down at aces, so we raise to 500. Undergun +1 calls, and the big blind also defends. Flop comes queen 6-6 with 2 spades. Big blind checks to us, we bet 500. The undergun caller ends up putting in the call, and the big blind ends up folding. We see a turn of the 7 of diamonds. I now have intentions of check raising and being able to shove any clean river. I think he'll still be betting any queen x, so we check it over to him, and he bets 1,000 pesos. Everything is going to plan. I don't think he has much 6x, and I think it's a lot of queen x that will call any raise. So we raise to 3,500, making sure he can go all in on any river. He ends up calling, and the river is an offsuit deuce. Perfect. We stick to the plan and go all in for our remaining 8,000 pesos. He now goes into the tank, and once he goes into the tank, I'm pretty sure I'm good. So we're just hoping for a call. In the end, he does end up calling. We turn over our aces, and oh, what's he doing? Why is he turning over his cards? That's never good. He turns over 10-6 of clubs. So we get stacked. In the second hand, we get that. After this, I didn't actually add on, as the music next to the table was so loud I couldn't even focus. So a very short session, 2 hands, and we're heading back to our Airbnb. Alright, let's talk about this week's results and what we're going to do from here on out. First things first, I don't know how you cash game guys do it, day in, day out. It's not enough excitement, there's no deep runs. The most exciting spot in cash seems to be when you're all in. So I couldn't be more excited to a massive tournament series coming up. Secondly, the content isn't going to keep being like this. I realized I don't just want to do hands. I kind of want to talk more about my story of building everything back up. And a hand is just a very, very short blip in the space of a poker career. So I don't think they're that important. So in future episodes, it's going to be more around the life that comes with it. There will still be occasional hands, but a lot less than this week. So, as for results, I'm standing in the rain because I got absolutely showered this week. I won 1.7k in the Red Dragon poker room. I lost 14,425 pesos in Resorts World, and I lost a clean 20k in 2 hands in the Okada. It's not all going to be up, so it's okay. We move, and let's hope the tournament series isn't showers like this. For next week, there's an entire poker store series going on at the Okada. We'll be firing everything. We'll be spending 10k plus in buy-ins, and hopefully we run good. I'm excited to see you there.